Right now on Fast Track News, an update on the February incident involving a PUPD officer and a black Purdue student. Body cam footage and official statements have been released.
Plus, an interview with the new Purdue Student Government President and Vice President. Hear what they have planned for the upcoming year.
And ITAP will soon be adding a new feature to your Purdue email account. We'll explain when this service will be added and how it will help protect you.
Fast Track News starts right now.
Hello Boilermakers, and welcome to Fast Track News. It's Friday, April 15th, and I'm Cerria.
And I'm Vina. It's been more than 2 months since an incident between a Purdue police officer and a black student caused an uproar on campus. Now, the special prosecutor reviewing the case has made a decision.
And the footage from the officer's body camera has been released. Reporter Maddie Kamatz catches us up on the events of the past week.
I'm here at the intersection of Harrison and Horticulture Drive, where last February the incident involving student Adonis Tuggle and PUPD officer John Selke took place. Just this past Monday, the special prosecutor investigating this case announced that no charges would be made against either party involved.
You all right? Yeah. It's going to be a fun trip to jail.
The full body cam footage was also released to the public after the announcement was made, along with a statement from the university. There were only around 40 seconds between when Selke arrived and when Tuggle was restrained. Here is part of what the body cam was able to capture.
Okay, awesome, cool. Come over here, stand behind the car, okay? Come over here, stand behind the car.
Give me my phone.
Why do you have her phone in her wallet?
Because she's not listening to me, so I'm trying to get her attention.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I think I dropped something. I don't have my glasses, so I can't fucking see.
All right, here's the deal. Go behind the car. I asked you nicely once, so I'm about to put you in handcuffs.
Nicole, can you please tell me?
All right, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Stop, please.
Put your hands. Sit down.
Nicole,
now.
please. No, don't talk to her like that. Don't talk to her like that. Don't talk to her. Do not talk to her like that. Do not talk to her like that. Do not talk to her.
Put your hands.
And talk to me with some respect.
Purdue has released a statement following the announcement by the special prosecutor, and it shared in full detail how the university worked with all parties involved to make sure this does not happen again. Reporting for Fast Track News, this is Maddie Kamatz.
A day after the prosecutor's decision was announced, the university released a statement of its own.
It was a joint statement, actually, between the university, the student Adonis Tuggle, Officer John Selke, and the Purdue Police Department.
Reporter Jaeden Roussey breaks down the statement and the steps forward the parties involved all agreed to, plus a reaction from campus.
Purdue has concluded their investigation regarding the Purdue police officer John Selke and Purdue student Adonis Tuggle. And as you can see from behind me, there has still been some public outcry from the student population regarding the official prosecution and what can be done going forward into the future to prevent any of these incidents from ever happening again.
Most of the backlash derives from a campus-wide email that was released on April 12th. The email detailed how there would be no charges filed against Officer Selke and Tuggle.
Purdue's a safe campus. That's why my parents even let me go here, was because it's a safe campus. And just to see this happen in the first place, it's kind of sad that no action was taken off the officer.
President Daniels echoed student concerns by stating that this incident was an aberration and that 0 is the only acceptable number of such incidents at Purdue. Daniels also said that Purdue will be implementing additional commitments and improvements, such as a reminder of a citizen's responsibility to respect the request of an officer, a review of the PUPD's force policy, and committing to recruiting a more diverse Purdue environment.
I think that maybe they should have more strict testing, or maybe testing or any sort of analyzing for whether or not police officers are ready for the field, because in my opinion, this one kind of wasn't.
Furthermore, Officer Selke will be temporarily reassigned to administrative services and will participate in de-escalation training before he can return to patrol duties. This is Jaeden Roussey, Fast Track News.
The Purdue Black Student Union held a town hall after the incident happened in February. They also released a statement this week with additional action items that they want the university to take. We've shared their statement on our Instagram page. Follow us at Fast Track News.
Now, turning to our weather. After a chilly Springfest, the weather is finally following the calendar and warmer weather has arrived.
But the weather temps have come with a price. Rain and a lot of it. You either had your umbrella with you this week or you wished you had one. Let's head over to meteorologist Stephen Abshire with a look ahead at the weekend. Hoping for drier weather, Stephen.
Well, Jack, we are going to get some drier weather as we move later on throughout this weekend. But tonight, we're going to see a little bit of rain. But for today, it's going to stay mostly dry for at least the early afternoon hours. High of 61 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Winds will be coming out of the south around 9 to 16 miles per hour with some gusts reaching up to 30 miles per hour at times. So pretty gusty outside today. Sunset will be right around 8:27 here. As we move later on through the afternoon, we'll see temperatures aren't going to warm up very much from where they are at noon. Just 55 degrees at noon. Moving into 3 o'clock, it's going to be 58 degrees. And moving into 6 o'clock, 58 as well. But we are going to have a 30% chance for showers starting at around 6 o'clock, moving into the overnight, and by midnight tonight it's going to be around 48 degrees with some mostly cloudy skies. As we take a look at the forecast model for what we could expect as we move later on throughout this evening into tomorrow, we're going to have a couple lines of storms, mainly scattered showers, so it is going to be a little bit unpredictable on where the main impact will be, but that's going to move through late into Friday night into early Saturday morning, but most of Saturday, as we can see, is going to stay mainly dry for central Indiana.
Finding a place to live near campus can be a challenge. We've got a record number of Boilermakers in West Lafayette, and it's often a race to secure the place you'll call home for the next academic year. Some students got a little help at a housing fair on Memorial Mall. It was held on Thursday, and students could meet with an area property manager to find out what is still on the market and how to reserve it before leaving for the summer. Purdue University Global has gone global. This past March, 7 Purdue University Global students and 5 faculty members took part in the program's first ever study abroad trip to London. Students participated in educational tours and attended a number of different cultural events. They even went for afternoon tea at the Kensington Palace. Though this was the first time Purdue University Global held a study abroad program, we're told it won't be the last. The university has already announced 4 upcoming trips available to both undergraduate and graduate students.
According to ITAP, starting on June 1st, a warning banner will be placed on all emails coming in from outside Purdue to faculty and students. This is an effort to prevent spear phishing and cyber attack attempts, which ITAP has noticed an increase of. The banner will read, quote, "External email, use caution with attachments, links, or sharing data." This will be a permanent feature starting June 1st, but users can request early access by visiting ITAP's website.
Andrew Jensen and Izzy Weber will take over leadership of Purdue student government after winning an election that saw the largest turnout of voters in the past few years.
Reporter Abby Myers spoke with the PSG president-elect and vice president-elect about their plans for the next year.
Continuously look over your shoulder at night. We'll be providing a safe way for all Boilermakers to get home.
Last week, it was announced that juniors Andrew Jensen and Izzy Weber won the election to be next year's president and vice president of student government. But a lot of work had to be done behind the scenes to determine the winner, especially with 6 different campaigns running for office. Nearly 3,700 votes were cast in this year's elections, the most since 2015. Voting was done by ranked choice, meaning that voters would rank all of the candidates from their first choice to their last. We spoke with Elections Director Jaeden Johnson to break it all down.
A vote could be for candidate X. If candidate X was eliminated in the first round, then their vote would go to whoever they had in second place. It could be candidate Y, and then we would redistribute those. Whoever won, we needed them to win with over 50% of the vote.
The final vote count showed that the Jensen-Weber campaign had a significant lead over the other sets of candidates, even before the vote redistribution. They believe it was their realistic goals that set them apart from the competition.
When we started out and we really thought, well, we're only here for a year. And so the question we asked ourselves is, what can we do in that year? And so we focused on 3 different things, which are health and safety, wages and parking, as well as centralized information.
Their top priorities for next year revolve around campus safety and organization.
One of them would be like a subsidized Uber and Lyft program, so $1 to $3 Uber ride for students, which they wouldn't have to worry about how they were getting home from a friend's apartment or from the bars, which I think would be very, very helpful, especially on like a college campus. And then we also wanted to create a comprehensive Purdue app. So instead of the 15 different apps that we have on our phone for Purdue, it would just be one.
Elections Director Jaeden Johnson is already looking forward to next year's elections and wants to encourage more students to run for office.
Somebody's going to run for president. and it's finding the people that should be senators or would like to be senators. We should focus on that more in the next round.
Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Abby Myers.
Thanks, Abby. The new PSG leaders will officially take over next fall.
Last week, the university announced it would be investing $50 million in pay increases and raising minimums on graduate stipends and staff wages. That includes raising the minimum wage to $15, but only for full-time hourly staff. Student wages were not mentioned in the announcement, which was published in Purdue Today. According to the article, faculty and staff will be notified after April 18th, with the increase taking effect on May 1st. Graduate students will be notified after July 1st, and the increase will take effect on August 15th. Up next, another multi-million-dollar donation is being made to the university, this time to the Honors College. Find out the new official name straight ahead.
And we'll explain why Purdue is paying remote workers to come live on campus. More about this unique initiative after the break. You're watching Fast Track News.
Our days are filled with questions. What do you want to eat? You want to hit the gym? You want to come over and watch a movie? And depending on how we're feeling that day, and on our relationship with that person, we usually respond to these questions pretty clearly and directly. You might say something like, "Sorry, I can't tonight," or "I have too much to do." Now, your friend might be bummed that you can't hang out, but they usually understand, and they say something like, "Okay, another time." Asking questions and respecting responses is something we do every single day, and it demonstrates a really important concept: consent. I'm sure you've heard of this before, and probably in relation to this word. Now, we're going to break down exactly what all of this means. Consent is clearly communicated. Taking time to talk and ensure everyone involved mutually agrees to the sexual activity that's about to take place is really important. If your friend tells you they're too busy to hang out tonight, but you show up at their door anyway and force them to watch Netflix, you didn't have consent. Listening and respecting others' boundaries is critical when it comes to consent. Consent is ongoing. Just because someone wants to make out with you, do not assume it means they want to have sex. If you were lifting weights with your friend at the gym, would you just add a bunch of weight without telling them? You'd probably ask first. Similarly, consent should be gained as all sexual activity progresses. Someone may start off thinking they're comfortable with something, but they might change their mind at any time. Consent is given voluntarily. Consent does not exist if there's a threat of force or violence. If someone feels potential consequences of not engaging in sexual activity, they're unable to give consent. If you find yourself trying to convince someone to have sex with you, you're doing it wrong, I promise. Consent can be taken back. Just because someone came over and watched Netflix with you last week does not mean they want to watch Netflix with you for 3 nights straight. Respect someone's decision to say no. And you guessed it, this means you should ask for consent every single time. Consent is only able to be given when sober. An incapacitated person cannot give consent. Someone who is unable to make decisions as they normally would because they're affected by alcohol or drugs, or because they're sleeping, cannot give consent to sexual activity. Let's repeat this once again, because it's really important. Unconscious people cannot give consent. So now that you know what consent is, you might be wondering how to be sure you have consent. The answer is pretty simple. Just ask. Consent should not be assumed from silence or passivity. If someone's looking away, not speaking, or disengaged, they're likely not giving consent. A clearly communicated, excited, and sober yes is a great way to know someone is giving consent. So before you decide to Netflix and chill, make sure to get consent first.
If you've driven west of campus, you've probably noticed brand new apartments and houses off State Street. But who's living there? Some may work for the university, but others may not have gold and black ties yet.
Purdue has partnered with an Indianapolis company to pay remote workers to live on campus and experience what Purdue is all about. Here is reporter Marcus Truccio with more on that story.
I'm on the west side of Purdue's campus, which is home to some of West Lafayette's newest residents. These people are a part of the Work from Purdue program, which is the result of a partnership between Purdue and the Indianapolis-based company Make My Move, whose co-founder, Bill Osterly, is actually a Purdue alum. The Work from Purdue program invites and incentivizes remote workers to move to Discovery Park District at Purdue to be a part of Purdue's collaborative and innovative campus environment while enjoying the many amenities in the West Lafayette community. Relocation packages may include up to $4,000 in cash relocation stipends, a $1,000 dining credit good in the Union's Atlas Family Marketplace, and other housing discounts.
And so I think the goal is to recruit smart, driven, tech-savvy individuals and families to come live in our community and benefit from all of the wonderful amenities that our campus and our community has to offer.
So far, there are over 24 people on campus with the program, with the goal to reach 100. These people will be living in apartments in the new Continuum building or in single-family homes in the new Providence development. One of Purdue's goals is to give the idea to the participants that they can keep living and working here and be a part of Purdue's forward-thinking community.
So I think a best situation would be, they come, they bring all of this, again, tech-savvy, coastal kind of lifestyle vibe to the Midwest, and then we get to give them all of the things that we offer. So I think it's a really beautiful marriage of the two. If they want to come and stay and live long-term, great. So I think this is just another wonderful example of how the Purdue community comes together and how we're persistent and how we look for a goal and we reach it. And so I think that's just a really beautiful story that we hope to continue to tell to the individuals that may be interested in coming to our community.
Thanks, Marcus.
Following updated guidelines and approval by the FDA, if you are 50 and older or 12 and older and immunocompromised, you can now get a second COVID-19 booster shot. And you don't have to go too far. Purdue faculty, staff, students, retirees, spouses, and dependents can make an appointment at the campus vaccine clinic. Although the FDA has approved both Pfizer and Moderna boosters, the campus clinic is only offering Pfizer.
Purdue alum John Martinson, who earned his master's in aeronautical and astronautical engineering in 1971, is giving back to his alma mater in a big way, with a generous donation of $25 million to the Honors College. According to a news release, Martinson hopes this contribution will help continue to grow the program and highlight all the gifted students, both current and future. People in southern Indiana heard what sounded like a large boom a couple of weeks ago. Around 20 people reported the sound to the American Meteor Society. Some took to social media to figure out where this mysterious explosion came from. Purdue University Earth, Atmosphere, and Planetary Sciences professor Brandon Johnson gave some insight on what may have caused this sound.
We think it was probably what we call an airburst or a fireball, which is when rock from space smashes into the atmosphere and explodes, and that's the sound that you heard is actually that explosion.
Johnson added that although these explosions are not that rare on a planetary scale, the fact that it happened so close to home in the middle of the day was rather unusual. He also said it was likely too cloudy to see the actual fireball.
Well, I hope we don't have any meteors move through tonight because it's going to be cloudy just like it was a couple weeks ago. As we look for today, it's going to be mostly cloudy, winds coming out of the southwest at 9 to 16 miles per hour and a 30% chance for showers as we move later on into the evening and overnight hours. We're going to reach a high right around 61 degrees. As we move into the beginning of our weekend on Saturday, it's going to be mostly sunny, but temperature's going to dip a bit, just 51 degrees as a high with a low of 29, with gusts still reaching upwards of 20 miles per hour at times. Sunday is going to be a very similar story as to Saturday. High right around 50 with a low of 37. Mostly sunny skies, but we are going to have a 30% chance of showers moving late into Sunday night into early Monday morning. This storm system is going to be bringing a little bit lighter rain that we're going to expect tonight, mainly just some scattered showers. It's going to be quick moving and move through mainly into the early Monday morning hours. What to expect when we return to average temperatures, a big midweek storm system moving through, and a look at the 7-day forecast.
I need a team. One that can think quick on its feet. One that can deal with anything that's thrown at them. They're on their way now.
So AdLib is a group of just a couple of Purdue students who like doing improv comedy. We do short form and long form improv comedy. The trick is that it's made up.
I would say, well, I have to go to practice that night, and they say, really? Why would you need to practice for improv? Or how do you even practice for something where you're just making everything up?
You're just instantly put into this world where like anything goes, really.
So we just did one earlier in practice where my name was Francois, and I wanted to kill someone but also date them, and it was very complex, like a soap opera.
And so ultimately it looks like we make everything up there, which we do, but it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes practice to be able to get to that point and feeling comfortable on stage.
We are generally always ready for a show.
On a Friday night, have people come in and make them laugh is really what it's all about.
I feel like right before you go on stage, it's a lot of nervousness combined with excitement.
Nerves.
We just need to get pumped up before a show.
We can focus and we do something called mind melding, which is where we all try to get into the same conceptual mindset.
All that warming up, it really puts you in this mood and it gets rid of those nerves. And as soon as you hit that stage, it's just all those feelings are gone. Once you hear that crowd in uproar.
It's always really fun just to hear people laugh.
I absolutely love the energy from the audience. I love hearing people pour in, and I like getting on stage and taking a silent audience to one that's yelling suggestions at you. I love it. Okay.
They're on their way now.
Be prepared for a lot of randomness.
You can expect laughter.
Welcome to Ad Liberation!
Taking a look at the national forecast for today across the United States is going to stay relatively calm. No severe weather like we've been seeing in the last few days. That low pressure system that developed over us early on in the week has moved off the coast, and we have a few scattered showers, but really it's going to stay relatively calm. A low pressure system off to the west will be moving our way as we move later on throughout this weekend, bringing us again a chance for some showers on Monday morning. But in front of that, a high pressure system will be bringing us some nice weather on Saturday and Sunday. Relatively cool for this time of the year, but it is going to stay dry. As we take a look at the next chance for some rain, on Sunday we're going to see that first system move through and bring a couple chances for some showers, and another one's going to develop by Tuesday. It's going to be something to definitely keep an eye on as we move later on into the week. As we take a look at the Grand Prix track for the trials tomorrow, that's Saturday forecast. It's going to be relatively nice if you are racing tomorrow. By 6 a.m. it's going to be 39 degrees with partly cloudy skies. As we move later on throughout the day, we're going to see that cloud coverage continue to diminish. The nice blue skies are really going to begin to peek through. By 9 o'clock it's going to be 40 degrees, moving into noon 46 degrees. Winds are going to pick up as we move later on into the afternoon hours, around 13 miles per hour at 3 o'clock as we reach our high right around 52 degrees. And by 6 o'clock in the evening, 48 degrees is what it'll feel like outside, with winds coming out the northwest at around 13 miles per hour. I want to take a look at where we've been so far this April. It's felt pretty gloomy, but it really hasn't been as bad as it definitely could be. Normal high temperature for this time of the year is right around 59 degrees. We have been a few degrees below average, right around 56 degrees. But the main impact, it's felt like it's rained almost every single day, but it really hasn't been as bad as it could be. Normal rain totals so far this year would be right around 1.5 inches, but we've only actually seen about 1.25 inches, and most of that came last Wednesday when we had nearly 1 inch of rain over at the West Lafayette airport. So, we still have a few more chances to see that precipitation total get up, as it could reach up to 3.84 inches, which is the normal amount that we'd see in April. But taking a look at the rest of the 5-day forecast, we do have a couple chances to see some precipitation totals. On Sunday, it's going to be a high of 50 with a low of 37. Mostly sunny skies and a 30% chance for showers moving into the earlier parts of the week. Partly sunny on Monday with a 30% chance of showers. Slight warm up right around 53 degrees with a low of 33. And on Tuesday, that's probably going to be our nicest day of the early week. high 54 and a low of 36 with sunny and pleasant skies.
I'm Sean English, and next in sports. Another tall signee inks his name into Matt Painter's crew, the deets on men's basketball team's newest member of the 7-Foot Club. That's after the break.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Purdue basketball adds another 7-footer to the roster. William Berg is a 7'1" powerhouse from Sweden and adds to this 6-person class. Purdue has had at least one 7-footer every year since 2013 with A.J. Hammonds. We're looking forward to Berg learning from rising junior Zach Edey to continue to make this campus Big Man U. The Purdue baseball team took on Penn State yesterday and will continue again tonight. This series continues today at 5 and will hopefully wrap up in a away sweep tomorrow afternoon. Our 21-7 overall record is very solid, and we are looking forward to a great Big Ten matchup with Penn State. This is one of the better seasons we had for Boiler Bats, but 3-6 in our last 9 games is worrisome. Let's get back to the form we had in the beginning of the season and take these games. Our softball team has had a tough season so far with the weather. Our doubleheader against IU last Wednesday has been postponed. Like Steven spoke about during the weather, this storm has been no joke, and we are hoping this storm system is past us for the start of our 3-game away series against number 6 Northwestern. We are 2 games below 500 and needing some wins now to turn this season around. We will be back in Bittinger Stadium a week from today when we host Michigan State for our second-to-last home series of the year. And in very exciting local news, we have Grand Prix coming up here next weekend. We are very excited to see all of Purdue students get together to celebrate this awesome tradition. The $1 million racing facility is hoping for some sunny weather next Saturday for race day. Zoom, zoom, Boilers, zoom, zoom.
Thanks, Sean. Baseball, the upcoming Purdue Grand Prix. It took a while, but it seems like spring is finally here.
But will it stick around this time? A final check of the forecast straight ahead. Fast Track will be right back.
I work for Student Life because I'm able to develop leadership skills that will carry over after college.
I work in Student Life because I'm developing time management skills and friendships that will last a lifetime.
Springfest was a little chilly, but the weather really turned around this week.
Despite the rain, it was nice to ditch the heavy winter coat. Students we spoke to agreed. It is April after all, and after gray skies and late season snow, students were eager to get outside and welcome the sun.
It felt like such a long winter, so I feel like this is a very nice change of pace, and it was well deserved. But I've enjoyed spending time outside with friends. I don't know, just not being inside anymore.
Finally have some sunshine, some warm weather. Seen a lot of people in shorts and tank tops already on campus. I think tonight a couple of us guys are going to grill. Went to the store and got some burgers and brats. I think we're going to throw them on the grill and have a good night.
Oh man, it's crunch time academically, so probably a good healthy amount of hammocking and getting my work done in the hammock, but probably going to have to keep a couple days to stay indoors and really grind it out.
Today it's really nice, lots of hammocks out. My roommate's coming to bring ours, so I'm trying to kind of find our spot to claim right now, but I'm very excited. Definitely like lots more energy on campus, which I really like.
I feel like everybody's just in a better mood whenever the weather's nice too.
Yeah. It's nice seeing people on campus too, because you like forget people are here. Because it's just like
Yeah.
empty versus this is, yeah.
After a nice start to the week, the rain moved in, but what lies ahead for the rest of the semester? Can you give us an idea, Stephen?
Well, sadly, as we look forward to what we're going to expect late into next week, a lot of rain looks like it's on the forecast. As we see tracking through Tuesday into Thursday, a big weather system will come through, probably late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. bringing us a good chance of some heavy accumulation of some precip. So we'll continue to track this as we move later on throughout next week, but it's not looking great if you had any late weekend plans. As we take a look at the rest of the 7-day forecast, on Monday it's going to be a high 53 with a low right around freezing, partly sunny skies with around a 30% chance for some showers. Moving into Tuesday, it's going to be fairly nice, sunny skies and pleasant, high 54 and a low of 36. Still, about 6 degrees below average for this time of the year, but hey, we'll take it because we're not going to see any rain on Tuesday. Moving into Wednesday, we're going to have partly sunny skies with around a 20% chance for showers. High right around normal for this time of the year at 62 degrees with a low of 45. And on Thursday, it's going to be mostly cloudy, but rain likely as we move late into next week. High 52 and a low of 40.
I'm Erin Isaacs, Social Media Director for Fast Track News. We've been busy this past week on our channels. Check out our photos from Springfest, the joint statement regarding the PU-PD incident, and stay tuned for sneak peeks of our final show. Keep up with our posts, reels, videos, and stories. Fast Track News is active on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
That's a wrap for this edition of Fast Track News. Thanks for watching. I'm Vina.
And I'm Cerria. Join us next week for, believe it or not, our last episode of the year. We'll recap the academic year's biggest stories and look back on another unique but special year at Purdue. Until then, we'll keep you posted on all the news, weather, and sports on campus on social media.